general, at a very early stage, an angel will bring the kind of sort of nurturing and the kind of flexibility that an entrepreneur needs at a that earlier stage, where the business model, etc., is still taking shape. And the other thing which is very important is, as a organized angel group, we bring diverse yet collective experiences, diverse yet collective perspectives, and this really helps when you're trying to figure out the market, when you want connections, and it's not just patient capital, it is also a rich capital. You will, each one comes with their own network, their own experiences, and it's quite diverse. At the same time, everyone is investing in something, so there is a collective belief. So this, all in all, it really adds to a disciplined yet nurturing approach. So usually it's a win-win at that earlier stage, and to make the company much more investable going forward. And so it gives the luxury to the entrepreneur to try out different things, and it gives the angel the collective wisdom to decide how the company is moving. So on both sides, I think it's a good equation. Typically, an angel group is made up of people who firstly are interested in the ecosystem, so they are interested in new things, in nurturing startups, in nurturing entrepreneurial spirit, and they all, by and large, they've gone through this journey. So they understand what it takes to sell that first product, what it takes to build that first product, and what it takes to manage the money. So all this coming together, and when you are doing it as a group, you will act little more responsibly. You also, there is a crowd effect that happens. You will really not take very impulsive decisions. You will weigh in with others. So it brings in that maturity as well. And the human element, suppose I get irritated with the way the startup is going, instead of just giving an outburst, I will be able to see how the others are reacting. So invariably, it sort of tempers down, and you get an equalizer. So you sort of average out the good and the bad, and you try to be, more equanimity comes because of the group effect. Of course, it could be that if one flares and everybody flares, it could be negative. But by and large, I think the reason you form a group is you want a disciplined and organized approach. We, for example, have a code of conduct that everybody signs on. We have an honor code. So if there is a conflict, for example, you will step out of the room. You will not, listen to the plan. Even going forward, if you feel that there is a breach of trust happening between any of two, somebody else will step in. And we have, a very strong code of conduct that we adhere to. And when we all wear, as we call, the Stanford jersey, we know we have to be true to the spirit of what we stand for as a university, as alumni. So little bit of that comes in, and the human element comes in also, because angels are really doing this because there is a passion involved. So that by nature you'll become much more humane about it, in the sense you understand what this takes. And I think that is the fun of an angel. So, I'll give you an example of one of the companies that we invested. The entrepreneur came to us because he had learned all his coding. He was not a trained CA. I mean, he was from a very small engineering college in rural India, and he had learned everything online. And he really wanted to connect with the professor from, whose online courses he had done. And he was so thrilled when we connected him, like the next day, to him, and he went all the way and met him and got his code sort of verified by him, and it was a big high for him, and it didn't really matter to the valuation or anything, but it motivated him. So we are able to bring in this kind of very novel kind of a connect. Again, the same company, and as well as two other companies who eventually thought they want to pivot to a large global market. We were able to get feedback from the people in the Silicon Valley, other alumni who are angel investors, who are VCs, about the readiness of the product, about what the roadmap should be to make it a global product. So very early on, we were able to get in this kind of feedback before they even went to a pre-series A round. So these are the kind of values that we also enjoy bringing to the table, because it fits in directly with our own experience, with our own aspiration of really bringing the best of both the worlds together. Well, Let's Ignite has been great. It's for one, bringing all the angel groups together was for me very satisfying, because we could share our own experiences, and you also have a checks and balances, right, whether you're doing things right or not. Of course, Let's Venture has been a good source of not only giving deals to us, but also as a window to the ecosystem as to how things are evolving, what kind of angels are coming on, what kind of investments are working, where are they going, how the synergies are working. I think the greatest contribution of Let's Venture is that it has really fueled the ecosystem. It's given a very structured yet very passionate view of how the Indian ecosystem is evolving with its own wins and losses, or its own challenges. But I think the whole thing is that we are coming of age, and Let's Venture has played a big role in sort of tying it all together. So I think really wonderful job by your entire team, and we hope to see more events like Let's Ignite with more participation from more and more angels, investors, entrepreneurs and others in the ecosystem.